guys, welcome to Frank's Tech Help. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Tozo C2035 Wild Challenger Turbo Dune Buggy. Metal universal joint cups and sealed ball bearings, 4-wheel independent suspension, and independent metal rear differential, which is nice. So, a little picture of the back where the remote goes, take the screws out, put the batteries in, put the cover back on. So let's go ahead and open this up, see what we've got. Flip it back over here, I guess. Alright, so here we have it. Oh, this isn't white, this is actually kind of a silver white. It's almost a pearlescent look. I don't know if you can see that. I expected it to be totally white. And at certain light angle it does look white, but otherwise it looks silver. And it's almost kind of a pearl looking. It's the best I can describe it, but it's really cool actually. I like the finish on this a lot. So as usual, everything's zip tied in. Go ahead and open this up the rest of the way. Screwdriver, torque, lug nut wrench for the tires, and a couple extra gears. Once again, I'm not sure if they're expecting you to burn those out or whatnot. The power adapter on this is much like the 9115, however this one came with a USB adapter, so I've got an extra one of these floating around to plug this into the wall outlet as opposed to the computer. And same type of power connector as a 9115. So on the remote control, just kind of wiggle it, pop it in. You have your on and off switch right there, your throttle right here, and your steering adjustment on that inner dial right there. You just grab it right there and adjust it by that. So, so the screw in the side here holding in the battery cover in place. Alright, so we've got the batteries in the remote control there. Make sure the light kicks on and it's flashing to indicate that it's not connected to the vehicle. Get that out of the way. Go ahead and get the zip ties off of the rest of this and make some space here. Alright, so here we have it out of the box. Everything, and we slide everything else aside here so we can get a nice close-up of this vehicle out of the box. Now, this is a 2-wheel rear-wheel drive only. It's not a 4-wheel drive for this model, so keep that in mind. The shocks seem really nice on it. I love, I gotta say, right off the bat, I love the hardcore plastic design of this. It seems super rugged. I have hopes that this one might actually be pretty fun, considering it's only a rear wheel 2-wheel drive. It does have very wide wheels, so it looks like versus the 9115, it seems like this is lower, has a lower profile tire. They're both running the 390 motors as far as that goes, but then the shock design back there is pretty standard for the 4-wheel independent shock system. The whole baseline of the unit there, pretty much solid plastic with a mini skid plate, front bumper, rear skid plate there. Getting up into the front shock area there, same setup right there. And it does have an independent rear differential, which is mounted to the chassis of the car as opposed to having the flexible drive shaft in the back like that. So, alright, I'm going to pop the 2 pins out and take a look under the hood here, see what we're working with. As with most vehicles, you have 4 pins that you take out, but I only see 2. Oh wow, pretty cool. So here's the design right there. It actually just lifts up when you take the 2 front pins out. It does lift up off of the back there. I'm not sure if this disconnects easily. Okay, so from what I can tell, when this top flips open, it is locked in. There's, I don't know if I can get this in the proper visual range, but right here under this little tail fin, you see there's a little axle circle there. That's where the hinge for this pivots. It doesn't look like it pops off. I mean, it almost does. If you look at it sideways, it looks like it could pop off, but it's not playing cooperatively. So I think that's about what you're looking at right there, is just leaving the back top in place. So again, flip open the battery compartment power switch module area. As we can see inside, we've got the battery in there, on and off switch, antenna. This is very much designed like the 9115, except for of course the design of the back of the housing. It doesn't have the cheap plastic. This is actually really nice heavy duty design on the top of this. Looks like it's going to be very rugged when it tumbles as well. So alright, I'm going to go ahead and get a charge on this battery, and let's power it on and see what's going on. Alright guys, got the battery charged, so I'm going to go ahead and pop it back in here, show you the proper way to get this into place. So just line the clips up on the top like that right there, push them in, it locks into place there, and then lay the battery down with the label facing up. Now this is a 390 motor running a 9.6 volt battery, 800 mAh, and the 9.6, a lot of the other ones run at 7.4 volts and run anywhere from, you know, they usually run higher, like 1400 and 1500 mAh. So I'm not sure about the runtime on this battery, how long we're going to get, but we'll see here. So when placing the top back into position, you want to go ahead and turn the vehicle on, and this little antenna right here, if I can get it in the proper position, when you put this lid back on, will actually pop through the holes right there to give you a better overall signal. So that is one downfall, one pain that I don't care for necessarily for this vehicle, is that it is hard to get this top back on. I mean, once you do it a few times it's fine, but just to turn the car on you have to take that whole top off and do all that. But anyway, the antenna wire is now, if I can get it in the right position, sticking through right there to give it a little better reception. Alright, got the second one in there. So now that this unit is on, let's go ahead and turn on the remote, make sure that it's paired properly. It's ready to go, as you can see. Let's take it outside and see what it's got. So I gotta say, it is hard to keep this vehicle straight when it's in the gravel. It likes to spin out a lot. Definitely fun. Just takes a little bit of practice on getting the controls down to keep it where you want it. It's got a lot of power, I can tell just from the rear-wheel drive. It's another reason I prefer the four-wheel drive. So let's go ahead and get it into the grass and see what we got here. Alright, I gotta say, it does amazingly well in the grass. I'm kind of surprised, to be honest with you. I think those wide tires are definitely helping. And despite the low profile of the tires, they seem to be doing great in the grass. This thing really, there's a lot more control over the steering. So let's move on to our next test. So let's run the standard straight up and down the street road test here and see what we've got for speed and control. Alright guys, so here we are back in from the test drive, and it's usually at this point that I give my brutal opinion on what I think about a vehicle. I can be kind of harsh at times. And to be honest with you, so this is for the 390 motor, the 9.6 volt battery. It's running 800 mAh, seemed to put out pretty good amount of power. And my first impression, honestly, I'm going to say that I love this car. Now, I wish it had four-wheel drive, but for what it is on the two-wheel rear drive, it does really well. Now, the gravel, it did spit out a lot, as you saw in the video. It did super well in the grass, I think because of the wide track tires. Despite the low profile of those tires, it still did well in the grass. On the up and down in the street, I'd say probably 20 to 22 miles per hour, roughly. It handled well when you did the 180s to try to spin it. I did not flip this car once. I'm very surprised. Most cars flip over fairly quickly during my testing. But this one did not at all. Not even once did it flip. So driving it down the street 20 plus miles per hour, flipping the wheel doing a 180, some vehicles will spin over because the shocks are too, stiff or whatever. This vehicle actually digs in, and I don't know if you can see that kind of action, how everything shifts to the side. But if you go back and watch the street video, when it comes around the corners, it digs in to the pavement and actually hangs on, which is really nice. As far as the straight off power, trying to keep it straight when you do a full throttle takeoff is good. It doesn't waver as much as some of the other vehicles do. So on the overall, man, I really like this a lot, and I'm going to give it a big thumbs up. So I hope this review helped you guys out. And as always, thanks for watching Frank's Tech Help. Peace.